pretty short. Takes around 3 hours to beat casually, and it seems that the first race has started now. So the game starts out with a small cutscene that we have to mash through. It's pretty short, thankfully, and once it's over, we start moving through the first area of the game, the Grove. And in the beginning, the actions we can do is that we can roll, we can jump, we have a melee attack, and a ranged attack. And later on, we will get some items and some more power-ups in classic Metroidvania style.
One thing that's important to know is that we can also roll jump. And when we press both the jump and the roll at the same frame, you can like keep the movement speed from the roll and the height from the jump, which is quite useful in lots of situations.
Yeah, and as is standard in a lot of games, rolling is faster than running, so that is the movement option that you will see them use. The roll is not only faster, it also allows you to dodge through enemies, and you are invincible while using it, which is also very handy when trying to go fast and avoid the enemies. Yeah, so the first area of the game is not super exciting, but it is actually one of the harder areas in the game to do well. Because all of these imps, how they behave is random. So you have to adapt to what the imps are doing in order to get through the rooms efficiently. And you will also see them do 3 small detours here in the Grove in order to pick up 3 chests. Will you be using that money to buy an item after this area is done? And now we have heyyyhoooo coming up on the first boss of the run, Edea. And both of our runners will be attempting to do a quick kill, where there are 1 or 2 frames where if you release your fully charged arrow, heyyyhoooo gets it. On Edea's tail, she has an orb. If you hit that, Nan gets it as well. So it's if you hit the fully charged ranged attack on the pearl at her tail, she instantly dies because it's a crit effect.
Also, when you defeat a boss without like getting hit, you get an item. Which this one is Edea's Pearl. Do you wanna talk about it and about poison?
Yeah, so the item from that Edea drops gives poison properties to your arrows, which whenever your arrows hit a target, they spawn a poison cloud. And they don't just poison the target, you can also poison yourself with this poison cloud, so you have to be careful with that during later boss fights, so that you don't actually poison yourself and get hit. Because
that happens a lot at the beginning.
Yeah, a lot of these boss items are extremely powerful, so not getting one item will definitely cost a lot of time, especially for these runners at this level. But yeah, so this boss fight right here is a 2-part boss fight. First you fight against Mocha before fighting Lubella. Mocha is a very annoying little boss. He's like an imp in that he jumps around very sporadically, so he can be quite hard to handle. But both heyyyhoooo and Nan handle both phases really well. And none of them had the boss dive out of screen, making her unattackable, which is really nice. That is the one attack you do not want to see, because it costs you time.
It's instant 12 seconds lost. It's pretty annoying when it happens.
I think it's actually 9 seconds in this fight, and then in the refight against her it's 12 seconds.
Oh.
I think it's a little bit faster on this phase, because there's only 1 row of orbs or something. I'm not sure.
Oh,
someone in chat might be able to confirm this, since there are a lot of the Momodora community is usually here and watches. But yeah, so the item that you get from the first fight against Lubella is the Bachman patch, which creates a lot of Bachman blocks and drops them from the sky. And that does quite a bit of damage and will also be used in a skip later in the run. And we'll get more to that when we get there. So the subterranean graves area that they are in now features quite a bit of underwater movement. And underwater you move slower, but you can swim and infinitely jump. So it's even more important to be rolling, because the roll still has the same speed as above water. So rolling is a lot faster than running.
Also,
And,
what
yeah.
the runners just got is the garden key, which will be used to open a certain door after the next fight.
And even if they are our runners are playing on easy, this tournament is run on easy. All of these spikes that you can see are still an instant kill. So any mistake can result in a big time loss. So spikes are still scary, and remember that the roll jumps are you hit 2 buttons on the same frame. So if you are not consistent with that and try to roll jump over a pit of spikes and instead only roll, then it's pretty much goodbye for you. But heyyyhoooo and Nan both have gotten through this area very cleanly so far. And heyyyhoooo approaches the third boss of the run, Derelict Frida. And there you see him spawn all of the Bachman blocks before he starts doing the more advanced strats of meleeing Frida. There is an easy strat where you just sit in the corner and spam arrows. But our runners are too good for that, so they want to speed up the fight a bit.
The only bad part about going for melee is that Frida can actually teleport. She's more likely when you're close to her. But even when she does teleport, you still is faster by going melee instead of going ranged.
Yeah, and Nan sadly got hit late in the fight, and he opts to continue the run without the item. The item that Frida drops is the Sparse Thread, which does a quite a big explosion around you, which does quite a bit of damage. So it's not a required item for the run, it just speeds up the remaining boss fights a lot. So Nan is at a big disadvantage now going on. And also after the boss fight, you saw our runner pick up a crest fragment. The goal of the run is to pick up the 4 crest fragments in order to open up the path to the castle. And each of these crest fragments also give a power-up to our character. And the power they just got from that fragment allows them to charge their ranged attack faster. It's not the most interesting power, but it's a pretty neat one.
Yeah, it's nice that from this point, it's you'll do more damage by charging by 1 level than just spamming arrows. It's quite useful in the arsonist fight.
And here is the refight against Lubella that I've mentioned before. This is actually one fight where you can get hit by the boss, because the item that she drops heals you when you kill an enemy, so it's not very useful. And Nan being very unlucky and having Lubella dive as soon as she is able to, which is really rough, because the item we buy at the start of the run gives us more damage for a short time. So by diving, you lose out time when you have that damage increase, and also you open up the fight by using 2 Bachman blocks, or the 2 Bachman patches you have, and they will do a lot less damage if she dives. And now now the run gets even better, because now they have unlocked the cat form. And in cat form you are smaller, you are faster, and you jump higher. But you can't climb ladders, and you can't use any items except the item that transforms you between cat form and human form. And in cat form, rolling is still faster than just running, but the roll animation has a recovery part at the end where you are moving very slowly. So in order to still move fast, what they will do is that they will roll jump and then cancel the ending animation with a melee hit. This allows us to move even faster than just running, but not slow down for the roll animation.
And that was our friend Paramal, heyyyhoooo was just talking to. That's it.
Oh yeah, he does have a name. I always refer to him as Sebastian. In my mind, he is a Sebastian.
Sometimes I call him Parasol or Paraglide. I never get it right.
Yeah. For some reason, I think of him as a butler, and Sebastian is a really good butler name. And I have a good friend named Sebastian, so I like to imagine that it's him.
Does he look like it?
A bit. It's hard to tell. It's not the highest resolution model or sprite. But yeah, our runners took a detour into the monastery in order to see a bell. They would use that to warp back to later, because if you have seen a bell, or there are a few bells, if you have seen them, you can warp to them. And they are now going back to grab the crest fragment that allows them to warp. And we see Nam there on the night boss, mini-boss. He did not have the sparse thread, so he had to use the Backman patch backup strat instead.
Even then, it is still quite the fast fight. Like, that poor knight never have a chance.
Yeah. It's very sad. But yeah, it's true. The things you have mentioned, chat, is that the RNG part of this run can be quite annoying. But to be fair, so far the biggest gap between them is because Nan has missed his sparse thread.
Pretty much.
And it will be very hard for him to catch up with heyyyhoooo unless heyyyhoooo makes a big mistake. So as I said, the crest fragment that heyyyhoooo just picked up allows him to warp to between bells. And they use that to warp back to the Forgotten Monastery. And wait, is it the Forgotten Monastery? No,
Forsaken, no? I just call it Monastery.
Oh god.
I always call it Monastery.
The F Monastery. Forlorn! There we have it on Nan's screen. Forlorn. It was an F word. Not a bad F word. Yeah, now heyyyhoooo is on the Heretical Arsonist fight. This is also one of the fights that is hardest to do well. It's also pretty hard to do it slow, because it's very chaotic and you have to be careful, or else you might trap yourself in a corner. But heyyyhoooo does not trap himself in a corner. Instead, he absolutely burns the arsonist down.
Also, it's quite important, like, where do you kill the arsonist? Like, as close to the right as possible, you get really close to that door that he just went through, which makes him walk less and save time.
Yes, and you also want to be positioned close to the female knight that is helping you in this fight, Calf, because after the fight she wants to talk to you and say hello. So if you are close to her, she doesn't have to run to you and you save a bit of time. And both of our runners had good position on their kills. And the item they got, or the power-up they got, first of all, is the ability to dash in the air, as you can see heyyyhoooo doing. That is now the fastest form of movement, and feels very nice to use. And the item that they got is the Pocket Incendiary, which adds a flame effect to their attacks, making them do more damage. And the best...
That was a pretty good RNG on heyyyhoooo screen. Like when he was
yeah.
getting the monastery kit, he
Oh,
got
yeah, it
like
was-
3 white, 2 caramel, and 2 black cats. That's
some
pretty
good
close to perfection.
Yeah. And what we're referring to is if you look at Nan's screen here, all of the cats in the background, what color they are is random. So
Oh, that's also pretty good.
and the heyyyhoooo used that key in order to get to Fennel. The probably quickest boss fight in the speedrun. It's very short.
Nun's fight might be a little more tricky since she doesn't have the sparse strats.
Oh yeah, the sparse thread is what makes that fight so easy and so fast. So let's see what he does for a backup strat. That would be very interesting.
This is one of the hardest fights, right? Without the items?
No. Okay, so I'm not sure what he's doing here. I think he's trying to get her to transition to phase 2. Yeah, okay.
There you go.
And now it's the same because it's getting her to trigger her phase 2 animation is very weird without the sparse threads. But it seems like I think he had a strat that actually usually works. I have a different strat that is not consistent, but he seems to have it figured out. And now heyyyhoooo is pretty much halfway through the next area, the Royal Pinecone City. And here he is taking a small detour in order to grab the Sealed Wind. We will use that to upgrade our melee, or leaf, our weapon. We need to upgrade it in order to get the true ending of the game, and if we do not get the true ending of the game, then the game does not consider itself beaten. So that's why we need that for the speedrun. But yeah, let's see, what have we missed? Okay, the item from Fennel is the Tainted Missive, which increases your damage, but at the cost of a quarter of your health every time you use it. And the power up from that crest gives you the power to charge your arrows one level more, so they do even more damage. And heyyyhoooo gets through that fight very cleanly.
He got a hit though, so he didn't get the heavy arrows.
Oh, he did not get the heavy arrows. Okay, and it will be very rough for Nan in this fight because it's very hard to not get hit without the sparse thread. But let's see what he can do, if he can pull it off. But still, he is quite a bit behind, and unless heyyyhoooo, like not having the heavy arrows for the final boss fight, doesn't lose you that much time if you do backup strats perfectly. So we'll see what happens. Nan also gets hit. It's a very hard fight to do without the speedrun strat. And here we see heyyyhoooo backtracking in order to upgrade his leaf, or upgrade his weapon, which is a leaf. And you upgrade it from a red leaf to a green leaf, which confirms that Luigi is better than Mario, obviously.
Do you think Kaho also drinks the tea while she's bathing the leaf?
I'm not sure. That is a good question.
I mean, you're already there, right?
Yeah, I would probably taste it. Like, cold tea is pretty good, so it's pretty nice sometimes. So yeah. And here we see on non-screen the shortcut they unlock. By using the Bachman patch over there, they hit a switch that is off-screen, above the screen, so off-screen a bit, which unlocks the ladder to the right. Usually you have to go on a trip around the castle, but it's a very nice shortcut that the Bachman patch allows us to do. And there we see on heyyyhoooo screen Kaf. She's taking a rest after climbing through the castle. It is a pretty tough climb if you aren't a speedrunner. So
yeah.
we don't blame her.
Also, she carries a very, very heavy sword, so that must be tiring.
Yeah, walking around in heavy armor and having a heavy sword, that must be very rough. Especially since she must have come straight from the cinder chambers, and there it must have been very warm there. So she might even have heat stroke or something. So yeah, it's very, very sad.
I always
Yeah,
get
and
tense when like either I play or I see someone playing through those last two spike rooms before
hey
gathering.
ho, Heyo has a really good time going on right now. It's looking to be a 21 time, even without the heavy arrows, I believe. Um, so we'll see how his final boss fight goes, as Nan is sadly a bit behind, fights the Clone Angel. That's what she is usually called, because she splits herself into several clones and you have to attack the real one, or else fish will fall out of the sky and punish you.
Very nicely done there.
And hey ho, the queen fight has 3 phases in the true ending, and only 2 phases if you do not have the upgraded leaf for the true ending. And usually you save the background patches for the 3rd phase, but without the heavy arrows, it's very hard, or it's impossible to get through the 2nd phase quickly. So you usually use the background patches there instead. Okay, Heiho gets hit, almost dies to the queen, but he makes it through with a 21:48, which is a really nice time.
Only 3 people had gotten 21, right? In total?
Yeah, only 3 people in the community have 21 times in the community, and he gets a 21 time without even having the heavy arrows. So that is a very, very good time, especially for a race. And here we see Nan fighting the queen. So he does not have the sparse thread, and he does not have the heavy arrows. So here we see him using the patches.
He has the missive though. I didn't realize.
Okay, so he is very low on health right now, so he cannot use the missive because that would kill him.
But we have the good old crystal seed we bought at the start of the run.
So let's see how Nan gets through the final phase. And the good thing about he gets hit and dies. That's rough. That would have been around a 23. I saw a 23:30. That would have been a very good time, or a very respectable time. But I imagine that he's not very happy with himself because he missed the sparse thread and the heavy arrows.
Yeah, this is a game that in a race setting, like it's really important to have like consistent backup strats because things might go well quite often. So you need to adapt to like playing without 1 or 2 or more items. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Now he's going to the 3rd phase, and he has plenty of health, so this might be an easier time this time.
Yeah, this time he can actually take a hit without dying. The good thing about the 3rd phase of the queen is that she always does her attacks in the same order. And he tanked at last hit and finishes with a 24:29. A solid time. GG. First race goes to Heiho. And but this is not over yet, since this tournament runs on a best of three format, so we might have 2 races to look forward to.
They both are really close in terms of PBs, so anything can happen.
Yeah, and we'll just get the race, the second race started as soon as we can. So if you have any questions, now is a pretty good time to ask them. Okay, it's definitely not over yet, because the second race could be a reverse of the first one, whereas Nan could get all the good items and heyyyhoooo misses one, or heyyyhoooo can get a dive or 2 while Nan has perfect boss RNG. So it will be very interesting to see how it plays out.
They both might get like the perfect run and get really good PBs for them.
Oh yeah, we might even get to see a world record run. It's highly unlikely, but it's not impossible. So we'll see what our runners give us today. Yeah, it's really hard commentating when the runners like heyyyhoooo, Nan, or Double Stop run, because they play through the game so fast. You just have to rush through everything. You can't take your time with commentary. It's a real challenge commentating these races.
Yeah, like when you see they like defeat everything already, and like you start commentating on something, and then when we see they are like 2 stages, 2 splits ahead or something, it's complicated, but it's quite nice to watch.
Yeah.
Also, it's pretty nice to see like movement that is so well optimized.
Yeah, it's something that sets apart like the absolutely best runners from the good runners and the worst runners is the general movement and the boss fighting mechanics. And the movement you see these 2 runners do is extremely polished. Hitting all the roll jumps that they do, and with the consistency they do it, it's really cool. And all of the small optimizations in like how they jump, how high they jump, when they roll jump, all of that is just a treat to see. It can be really interesting to see heyyyhoooo, Nan, or Double Stop arrange against someone who is not quite as good, because then you just see how good their movement actually is.
Yeah, like doesn't seem like a lot, but in the long run, it does adds quite a lot of time. Like by not rolling every now and then, you can lose quite a lot of time. Oh, he missed the jump.
So Nan is currently a tiny bit ahead of heyyyhoooo, but he misses the jump there, and now they're pretty much dead even.
And now heyyyhoooo's ahead again.
Yeah, it's.
And now they're synced. Oh my god.
They're just 2 extremely good runners.
Is this rigged? Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Is heyyyhoooo? Heyyyhoooo is entering the boss fight a little bit earlier, so heyyyhoooo is in a slight lead. But who knows? Maybe Edea will put on her dancing shoes and give us a performance right here. But let's see. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Edea has her dancing shoes on, and she's
Both
taking
of
them
them.
for a jig. Oh, Nan misses the
Oh.
quick kill. He could not keep up with Edea's quick dancing moves. But he's still not far behind. He's in a slightly better position as the boss dies, but still loses.
Quite a bit of time.
Yeah. I think 6 seconds is what he lost for not getting the quick kill. So definitely not an unbeatable gap, but not what you want to start out the race with.
The best part was how Edea danced on both screens at the same time. Like,
yeah, let's hope for synchronized bad RNG in this in the other fights as well.
Double dives for everyone.
Oh no! I don't think they will be able to get the double dive. I think that they will only allow her to do one dive and then she will die anyway. So yeah, what makes Mocha hard? I mentioned that he jumps around quite a bit, so it's really hard to keep him in place. Nan handled that attack, the orb from Mocha, very nicely, and that was a pretty scary moment when Nan missed one of his attacks, but it's fine. It went fine. Oh, heyyyhoooo gets a dive. This is Nan's time to shine. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Nan is. Oh, will the poison finish her off? Oh yes, if the poison finished her off, so Nan has a slight lead over heyyyhoooo. So yeah, the missed quick kill has now been reclaimed, and he's also overtaken heyyyhoooo. One thing we haven't mentioned yet is this hidden fairy item that you use it by inputting the directional inputs of the Konami code. And why don't you tell us what does the fairy item do?
When you input the first half of the Konami code, up, down, down, left, right, you summon a fairy, and that fairy does lots of vertical laser beams on the screen randomly, which they do lots of damage, but they are random, so they are really only useful when you're fighting some bosses with large hitbox like Lubella, which is giant.
Yeah. If you do not have the Bachman patch, you can use the fairy in order to unlock the shortcut at the end in the castle, but since the fairy is RNG, you can't really count on it working, and it might take a few tries.
At least there's a bell, right in the place, so you can like fairy bell, fairy bell, fairy bell.
Yeah.
Ad infinitum.
Yeah, items in this game works like you have a set amount of uses of each item, and every time you hit a bell or save at a bell, the item, it refreshes the amount of time you can use it. So it's very much like Estus flasks from Dark Souls, in that you rest at the bonfire or save at a bell in this case, and then you can use your items again. And heyyyhoooo, he did what I mentioned the first run, is that he rolled into spikes instead of rolling over spikes, and that is very rough. It seems like heyyyhoooo is not very happy with himself, so.
And that's quite a time loss, especially because he's gonna have to watch the cutscene again.
Yeah, this area is one of the longest in the game without any saves in it, or without any saves that are easy to take. So if you want to take a save, you have to take a pretty big detour. So first of all, you have this cutscene that he is in right now, and then the overall movement is slower in general because it's underwater.
And also you need to take the key again, which is a big detour.
Okay, and it
I'm
seems
fighting.
like it's that the fairy is very, very bad on with hitting that switch. According to Kud, he used 9 fairies and it did not hit the hit the
God.
switch. So that seems very rough. So yeah, do not count on getting the fairy to hit the switch for you. Is the moral of this story. Okay, and
No,
Nan is.
Did he get the threads? I didn't see.
I wasn't paying attention, but I did not hear him get hit, so I think he got it. And by that I mean I think he got it. I do not mean he got hit.
Oh God.
And yeah, Nan now has a solid lead over AO. And that's the door you need the garden key for. That is the detour they took in the subterranean graves. Did Heyo grab the safety save?
I don't think he did.
No, but he is taking it slowly in this area. He's not okay. He did not roll jump over all the spike pits, only over some of them. And the trick of using roll and jump on the same frame, that's not the only like simultaneous action you can do. If you drop down through a platform at the same time that you use an item, you can also do both at the same time. So before entering the room before Lubella, you have to drop down through a platform. So what Nan did is that he used his crystal seed and dropped down. So yeah, saves a small bit of time because you don't have to do the item animation. It's also used once later in the run, where you drop through a platform and transform into human form at the same time, which is pretty neat.
It's one of those things that doesn't save a lot of time, but they do save some time, and it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
And the Pac-Man didn't break the wall.
Oh, that's very unlucky for Heyo. Heyo is not having a good run. So unless Nan does something even worse than rolling into spikes, and I don't even know what that could be, then we will see a third race as well.
Yeah. But anything can happen, so
yeah, that is
you can
true.
never know for sure. Maybe Num can have the infamous bad cat RNG.
Oh, I have never seen anyone get bad cat RNG. Because,
yeah, that's so hard.
Yeah. Now we're speaking to our good friend Sebastian. I am going to I am going to call him Sebastian. I always think of him as Sebastian, and he will always be a Sebastian in my heart.
I think his name is not even like mentioned during the game, but it's on the game files. Like, he doesn't have an official name during the game.
Oh, and Heyo gets a dive as well. This is just not his run.
This is just the game saying, hey, you need to stop for a moment. You're going way too fast. Please.
Heyo, this is the speed police. You went above the speed limit. Do you know how fast you were going? This is a school zone. You can't go on a sub 22 pace here. You might hurt the poor children.
And Num is not even giving like any window to Heiho get closer. He's like,
yeah. Num is he's all fired up after the last round. He's warmed up. The nerves seem to be better. And now he is out for revenge. He wants to have a good time.
Those cat eyes have blood in them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to pounce you. The cat is not only cute, but it is absolutely lethal as well. Dun, dun, dun. We see heyyyhoooo doing his magical girl transformation into a cat. Woo!
There should be like, if you're on an elevator and you do that, there should be like a longer animation, just like in shoujo animes.
Yeah, any good animators in chat? I would like to request a magical girl style transformation from Kaho to turn into a cat.
Please. That would be so good.
Of Nan almost going the wrong way.
Go.
To be fair, he could have gone and grabbed the key before going down to these cinder chambers, because the key is a key item. Oh god.
Oh.
So it does not mess up your menuing for the active items or passive items, like the items you get from killing bosses. And yeah, it would just mean you take it in a different order. Hey, absolutely demolishing that knight. That poor guy, he doesn't get to kill anyone in speedruns. It's very sad for him.
He's trying his best though. I believe one day he might get it.
Definitely. An interesting thing about the soldier mini bosses, Nan almost got
really
hit.
close.
Yeah, I think he knew that. I think they had stopped damaging, because I think he was in its hitbox, but I think it had like faded out. Yeah, what was I going to say? I was talking about something.
You're gonna say something
No,
about that night.
Yeah, if you enter that room from the bottom and land, like jump up on the floor, but you do not jump above the floor, you will actually avoid the trigger that spawns this knight. So you can walk around in that room, like on the ground floor there, without actually fighting him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's annoying in the AVIB category, because then you enter from below. So if you do one of those perfect jumps and start using your items, then you realize, oh no, wait, I didn't trigger the boss fight, so I just wasted this item. Then it's not as fun.
It's really sad that like they can editor should not like trigger the knight is still slower than like killing it.
Yeah.
And Nyam had a really good RNG right there with like 5 white cats and 2 caramel cats.
Oh. I see. Nan is now burning down Fennel. And she falls to the ground and asks, why
My
Milo?
lord. Poor Fennel.
Yeah. In a casual playthrough, she is one of the most interesting and fun boss fights you can do. She is quite difficult and has a really good soundtrack. But yeah, she gets absolutely destroyed in the speedrun. So it's very sad that we do not see more of her. Yeah, we just have to wait for the unofficial game where she actually has a gun and is harder. Or, well, everybody knows that she has a gun, but she's just very kind to that. So
They had to nerf it.
Yeah. It would be impossible if she actually used her gun. That wouldn't be fun at all in a speedrun. Imagine going on a sub 22 pace, being caught by the speed police, and Fennel shoots you with her gun.
Suddenly, there's the gun.
Fennel was the speed police all along. Let's see.
Nam is going like really fast through the Royal Pterodactyl.
The Royal Pterodactyl, oh yeah. Yeah, that is a scary name. Well, the Royal Pterodactyl is is a very loved area. It has a lot of different names, and depending on who you ask, like there are a few that are more popular than others. The most common one, I believe, is the Royal Pina Colada. That's the one.
The Pina Colada and Piano Castle.
Yeah, Piano Castle is really nice. I'm a big fan of Pythagorean Theorem. That one.
Oh my god, that's the best one for sure.
Yeah. I prefer to call it the Royal Pinecone City. Oh, Nan gets hit. I don't think he's getting the heavy arrow, sadly.
And
But he...
heyyyhoooo reset at finale.
Oh, did he get hit? It seems.
Yup. But that's not like a really big time loss since the checkpoint's like right.
It's Fennel has the closest. Fennel and Edea both have really close bells to their boss fight. A lot of the bosses in this game actually have bells close to them, or they have a shortcut you can unlock to access a previous spell. So but I believe the boss that is furthest from a bell is Lupiar and Magnolia, because you still have to traverse through at least 2 screens before. I believe it's even 3 screens, 2 or 3 screens before, like between the bell and the boss fight. And casually, that fight is very, very difficult, especially if you want to no-hit it.
Lupiar can be really, really tricky at times.
Yeah. One thing that makes that fight especially hard to no-hit is that Lupiar, like the phase of that fight, the knight, she's immune to arrows. So you can't do the standard strat of sitting in a corner and spamming arrows, because they will just bounce off her, and she will just laugh at you in armor. So you have to go in and do melee attacks. But the problem is that the first melee hit in your combo does not stagger her, and she has several attacks that are really quick. So you just have to go in, hit her, and pray that she doesn't hit you back.
Pretty much. It's just one of the trickiest fights by far. And even when you're speedrunning and you go like doing double patches, she sometimes just decides to roll all the way through you, and like it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah.
Also, heyyyhoooo have got an ivory bug.
Oh yeah. So that's what someone mentioned, the surprise AV Brod. Which bug did he grab?
It was the one in Pinakoteka before getting the sealed wind. It's on a room with 2 skeletons.
Is it the one like next to a crystal orb switch? Or is it the one in the hidden wall?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that one. I know that one. Yeah, AVIB is another category from in this game that stands for all vitality fragments, ivory bugs, and bosses. So it's one more boss than the any percent run, but you also have to do a lot of collectibles. Like for the ivory bugs, there are 20 of them in the run, and vitality fragments, which are health boosts. I believe it's 18, but do not use that as a basis for anything super important. Oh yeah, Nan did get hit during the Lupian Magnolia fight, which is not the best, but we'll see if he can finish up the 3rd phase this time. He has the Tainted Missive, and there's 2 sparse threads saved up for this phase. And he has the fairy as well. So let's see. And he finishes it off before she has a chance to do her second attack. GG to Nan. A 22-12. So, yeah. A solid time. A solid time from him coming out in this second race.
Yeah, it was quite solid, and without heavy arrows, like that fight takes a lot more. So, I really find it interesting how runners adapt during these races when they don't get the items. Like, it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, and some of the fights change a lot if you do not have the sparse thread. And some fights, yeah, some fights are extremely hard to do no hit. Like the sparse thread is one of those items that is like, oh yeah, it's not the most important item in the run, but it makes everything else so much easier. And if you miss that, if you miss the sparse thread, you will most likely miss another item as well, because some of the boss fights will be really difficult.
It's a really big snowball.
Definitely.
Oh, he missed one cycle.
Oh, he did not get the early. But yeah, the one cycle on Queen is actually quite tight to get, because you only have a few frames to release your first arrows. If you release it too early, then what happened right here happens, and you miss the Queen. If you release it too late, the first attack that the Queen has will hit you and will interrupt your arrow charging, which will also prevent you from getting the one cycle. At least the setup I know. I believe there is a setup that you can take a hit in it for, but I've
never seen this other one.
I'm not sure. And GG to heyyyhoooo at 24-39.
That run was really tough for heyyyhoooo. Like,
yeah.
Let's hope for this third one, like, be really good without bad RNG and spikes.
Yeah, let's hope that this third run is like the start of this second run was for both our runners. Like up to Lubella. Let's hope that the entire run is like that, because those runs are extremely exciting to watch.
Maybe the speed police will now attack Nyan. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, maybe the speed police will attack both of our runners. Wanted for going over the speed. So, people in chat, who do you think will win? Do you think Nan will take the third race, or will heyyyhoooo take it? Because no matter who wins this race, the grand finals of this tournament will be a very exciting race. Double Stop is currently sitting up there in the final race, so to speak, and Nan actually lost to Double Stop in the semi-finals in the winners bracket. So if Nan wins now, he will climb back up into the winners bracket for revenge. But if heyyyhoooo wins, then heyyyhoooo will have lost early on in the winners bracket in the tournament against Sof, and then fought his way through the bracket of alternate success, beating Sof for the revenge, and then let's see if he can beat Nan here as well in the final thingy, in the final race, or in the final race in the bracket of alternate success, and climb back up to the winners bracket.
But even then, this is a pretty important one. Like, this decides not only who continues, but also who gets the third place, which is also a pretty big thing here. This tournament was pretty good, and so many like good runners it's, I don't know, I would feel proud to be at this place right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's I think I came in like in top 10 in this tournament. Oh, I'm not sure how many we were, but it was a very fun tournament to participate in, and it's also been very fun to commentate as well. And it seems that we have some people in chat rooting for heyyyhoooo, none included. So we'll see how this final race that now starts will end. But who is smashing the fast? Oh, Nan gets through the first dialogue a little bit faster. with the Nan with the early lead. Can heyyyhoooo catch up? Or is the race over already? Okay, no, they're pretty synced now. Oh, they are very synced.
Look at this.
I think heyyyhoooo is like a few pixels ahead. Yeah, heyyyhoooo is a few pixels ahead right now. No, imps are evil right now. The imps are kind. As
they're doing like the exact same movements there.
Yeah.
He even broke the chest.
Wait, both of them get damage boosted.
This is scripted.
Yeah. We're actually just watching heyyyhoooo stream, but we're splitting it into two.
That's probably the only different thing we saw so far.
Yeah, heyyyhoooo is now a little bit, still a little bit ahead. Hoo. And this are both the same team. Yeah, that might explain why Nan wanted heyyyhoooo to win. Because he's actually heyyyhoooo. Okay, Nan is a little bit ahead.
Maybe oh, that was really close. You're falling just spikes there.
Oh, it seems like Nan will be the first to enter the boss fight. Let's see if she wants to dance today as well. I wonder if shooting her in the no, she wants to dance with Nan.
Oh, but now heyyyhoooo missed it this time.
Both missed the quick kill this time.
Oh.
Nan gets some nice fairy hits. heyyyhoooo finishes the fight earlier. And yeah, it seems like heyyyhoooo is getting out of this fight a little bit ahead. I wonder if it's a dance ahead, so to speak.
But so far this third race is like the closest, which is quite weird but fun. And Nyam actually went for the safety bell there.
If you do not get the quick kill and use the fairy on Etia, you actually have to get it in order to refill the fairy to use against Lebella.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, for top runners of this game, hitting the bell takes time. So if you can avoid saving at the bell, you really want to avoid saving. But so the route is basically, where do I need to refill my items? And that is one of those places. It seems that Mocha is bullying Nan, but Nan is not taking any of it, and he is hitting Mocha back. He's standing up for himself. Good on you, Nan. Don't let Mocha bully you.
Mocha is also known as the final boss of the game. He has one of the trickiest things when you're beginning to learn this game.
heyyyhoooo gets through the Lebella fight cleanly. There is no dives this time. No one has been stopped by the speed police, or I guess Edia was the speed police this time and saying no quick kill, that's too quick. heyyyhoooo or Nan almost misses the item, but he goes back and grabs it before exiting the screen. Because if you exit a screen, any items that are on the ground disappear. So if you actually do finish a boss perfectly, but then forget to pick up the item, then it will be lost forever. And that has happened in runs in the tournament, that someone has rolled out of a boss room without getting the item. And it's very sad when that happens. Oh yeah, and this character right here is Princess Eri. She, I guess then she's a princess of. Is it this kingdom that they are in, or is she from another kingdom? I'm not.
I have no idea. One thing that I really don't know much about is about the lore of this game. Like, I have played it a lot, but I haven't really paid attention to the lore.
Yeah. Shh, Noxuna, don't tell them. I remember that. You don't have to tell everyone that. I have a pretty good grasp of the general lore of this game, so it's not the deepest lore, but it's a solid story. It has. This game is actually a prequel to the other games in the series, or
there's there's a statue of Kaho on Momodora 3, right? Or is it
in Momo 2? It's in Momodora 2, because in Momodora 2 you go around in a temple and find 4 statues to, like, I'm not sure what they refer to, if they're like goddesses or gods or something, but the last one you find is actually a statue of Kaho. And if you have played, if you're like me and played this game before the other ones, then you're like, oh wait, that's Kaho! And they were very excited. At least I was. It was very nice.
I still should play, like, both Momo 2 and Momo 3. I still didn't start, but one day.
Like, the lore in this game is spread out. It's like if you talk to different, you have to talk to different the different NPCs and listen to what they say, and it's also quite a bit of dark soul storytelling in that you have to piece together a few things yourself as well. Oh, and heyyyhoooo being unlucky with a lot of teleports.
Triple teleports! Oh my god!
And Nan also gets a teleport. Like, this race is... Oh, this is really close. Oh, Nan gets hit, so no sparse thread for Nan. heyyyhoooo gets the sparse thread. This is very rough for Nan. But some of the lore is speculation in why certain things happen, but the base, but the story of this game is basic that Kaho is a priestess from the village of Lun, and she was sent to this kingdom in order to speak to the queen, because there is a darkness or corruption spreading throughout the land. So she is sent here to investigate the source of the corruption, and that's when the game starts. So you try to get, throughout the game you try to get an audience with the queen, but when you get to the castle you notice that it is blocked off, so you have to go around and gather the 4 karst fragments in order to open up this sealed door. And on the way there, you have to fight Lubella 2 again. And when she dies, she releases a lot of magic. And some of this rogue magic that flies around curses you and turns you into a cat.
I don't think that's a curse. I think that becoming a cat is definitely a bless. And
well, yes, it is. It is a blessing, but the blessing is that you have the cat orb or the cat sphere, so that you can transform between a cat and human. It would be pretty rough to only be a cat.
That would be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
And heyyyhoooo finishing the fight before she has a chance to finish the dive.
Kaho is a Scooby-Doo. I cannot confirm.
What?
I'm sorry, I cannot confirm that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what Calf's role in this is. I think she was a knight here in the kingdom, and she's also trying to reach the queen for an audience in order to stop the corruption. And that's why she's helping you.
We could know, but we usually decline to listen to what Cap has to say, so...
Yeah. A very nice thing about or a nice detail is after the arsonist fight, if you talk to Cap several times, she will take a liking to you and suggest that you should hang out sometime after all of this is over. And it's very nice. Their races are very close together, but sadly, heyyyhoooo has the sparse thread and Nan does not. Both are speaking to Sebastian at the same time.
Sebastian is really good at multitasking.
Oh yeah. Forlorn Monastery. Oh yeah, it's Saint Esli. Yeah, that's the monastery Saint Esli.
Oh god.
Okay. That was very adorable to look at. There's two bouncing cats. Whee! This is a top tier game.
Indeed, it is. Knife dying really quickly. Knife is actually pretty good at multitasking too. Dying to two people at the same time.
I'm not sure I would consider that to be good multitasking. Yeah, indeed. Elsam Nam does not have the sparse thread, so he will have a very rough time in the later part of the run. Especially Lupia and Magnolia. But who knows, maybe heyyyhoooo makes a huge mistake. Maybe heyyyhoooo forgets to grab the sealed wind. That has also happened before in the run.
I didn't see that happening. Oh wow.
It happened to me, yes, that has also happened to me. But it happened to Navix first. And both of us decided to handle it differently. He decided to take a lap around the Royal Pinecone City and run through the entire area twice. I jumped into the nearest spike pit and reset back to the checkpoint. But both of us lost quite a lot of time to that.
One thing that I sometimes do is after I get the crest and go back, I forgot about getting the bell and warping, and I just go walking into the monastery again.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes just... This is probably one of the segments of the game we least see during the Any percent, right? The Sinding Chambers are so big, but
yeah,
you only see a few screens.
Yeah, Forlorn Monastery is also quite, or has a few areas in the upstairs part, which we do not see a lot of. But yeah, I think this is the area we skip the most in. Well, maybe the castle, because I think the castle actually, because we do take a unintended shortcut, and oh, heyyyhoooo almost gets hit. That was a very scary moment.
It was really scary and
that was
really wow execution.
Yeah. Nan also gets through the fight. Not far behind. And it's still a close race. If heyyyhoooo even makes one mistake, Nan can actually take this race.
This is really far from over.
Yeah, but seeing the consistency that heyyyhoooo has been playing with, except for that spike roll, or
that hurt. That one really hurt.
Yeah, heyyyhoooo has been very consistent lately.
Oh, look at all those cats. 3 caramel, 3 white, and 1 black.
And let's see what Nan gets. I see 3 white. Wait, 4 white. Yeah, I can't count. Okay. 4 white, 2 caramel, 1 black.
And they are sleeping, except for Kaho.
Kaho is woke. She has seen through the lies of the queen. Oh yeah, and this elevator that Nan is in is the nicest elevator in the run. It's a very well furnished elevator. I believe that. What are the lore implications of this? That is the nicest looking elevator in the like in this universe. And that is owned by the church. Does that mean that the church is using like the money that people donate to them in order to make nice elevators instead of? I'm not sure.
If it's not only that. If you actually see through the castle is kind of like destroyed and stuff. Like it doesn't have a lot besides spikes, so you can see all the wealth of that kingdom belongs to the church.
Yeah.
The queen is actually a puppet.
We might be onto something here. But to be fair, the castle is not that nice looking, but the Royal Pinecone City, it looks quite luxurious. But that might be
that triangle.
Oh yeah, it's the triangle.
That's Wivy from Nuclear Throne, which is another game.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
It's a pretty cool roguelike. Like, it's pretty short, but has lots of stuff on it. Why does the Pinnacle City has so many burbs though?
Yeah, that is a good question. Like I like to call them ducklets because they remind me of little ducks. He's jumping around.
Is Ducky from the community a ducklet?
No, he's not. Because I do not. He's not as annoying. He's better than them.
I always think that those birds are actually related to Frida somehow because they really look like her.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I believe that they are related somehow. But Nan enters the fight before using the item. But yeah, since he does not have the sparse thread, I think he was prepared to getting hit in this fight.
Did he get? Oh, no, he got it.
He has gotten hit before in the fight. heyyyhoooo is racing through the castle at this point. So it looks like this will be heyyyhoooo's win, unless he visits his old friend the Spikes a few times. That's not a nice thing to hope for.
Maybe heyyyhoooo gets hungry and asks for some fish. That is also a possibility.
That is true. But that doesn't lose quite enough time for Nan to be able to catch up. So maybe he takes a nice bath in the tea and falls asleep. No, that does not happen. What else can he do? Maybe he decided to become a missionary for Saint Esselin and gathers money for them. He maybe wants to donate 100 money. Nope.
And
it
he
seems
goes
like...
collecting money for the church.
Nope, it does not seem like that either. It seems like he's just doing a regular any percent speedrun. No shenanigans going on here.
Maybe he decides to rest with Kef.
Yeah. Maybe he does that. And have a nice long chat. Let's see here. There she is. Oh, nope. Nope. Seems like he is definitely wanting to win this race. No distractions are allowed. But let's see if will it be fish time or will he go for the fish? Is he hungry? No. No fish.
No fish. It's really funny that the thing where the real angel like is lower than the clones was not intended by the developers.
Yeah,
Like-
that is a very odd little thing, because all the clones that she spawned, they hover slightly higher above the ground than she does. You are supposed to look at the attacks she does, because the real one's attacks flashes white and blue, and so. But it's very handy for the speedrun that you don't have to wait for them to attack.
I think Ardeen, like, which is the developer of this game, when he first saw the thing with the height, he was like, "Hey, how do you know that one is the real one? Are you cheating? What's this trickery?" Oh, one Psycho Queen, that was pretty neat.
And he gets through. Wait, did he not use his sparse threads in phase 2?
No, he didn't need it.
Huh.
It was,
That's a strat I haven't seen before.
you need to get the one cycle and then you jump and attack at the same time while charging arrows. It's pretty tight, but it's doable.
And
Hey,
Heyo
GG.
finishes. G2 Heyo, he is the winner of this match. Very, very well played by him. And we'll see. Now he's now entering the queen fight. He's not far behind, but you can definitely notice the lack of sparse thread and heavy arrows.
Heavy arrows are so powerful in this game. Like, we actually we just use it in this fight, but it adds so much damage to it.
Was it actually the first? Was it? Let's see. Heyyyhoooo. No, he won his first. Oh yeah, he won against like on a walkover because his opponent dropped out of the tournament. So Heyo's actual first race in the tournament against Sof is he lost that one, and then he has worked his way through the bracket of alternate success in order to get to this point right here, or where he will be after this race, yeah, in the finals against Double Stop.
And GG Nyam. They both had like some really intense runs in this tournament. And I think heyyyhoooo before the tournament he was like 4th seed, right? Like he went from the 4th seed to world record holder. That's like really amazing.
I know that heyyyhoooo, Double Stop, and Nan are the top 3 seeds, all 3 of them. So I think heyyyhoooo was the 3rd seed, I guess. Yeah, heyyyhoooo is 3rd seed in tournament. Nan was the 2nd seed, and Double Stop is the number 1 seed. But we'll get... Yeah. Sadly, Nan is now out of the tournament, and heyyyhoooo advances to face off against Double Stop in the grand finals. So let's see if we can get our runners in here for some post-match post-race interviews.
They are both in the other channel already.
Yeah, let's. I'll invite them in here. Da-da-da. Hello.
There you go.
Hi.
Congratulations on your victory and advancement to the grand finals of this tournament.
Yay.
GG.
Gonna get my ass handed by double stuff.
Oh, you can bait him like this, or
Yeah.
you believe in yourself. We believe in you as well. Okay, so how do you feel about today's runs?
The first one was really good. Like 2140 something without heavy arrows. So that was really nice.
Oh yeah, that
It
was
was
really
really
impressive. Definitely.
The second one, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
you
an
got the
unfortunate
Ivory
run.
Bug.
Yeah, it was very weird. That Ivory Bug cost you a lot of time, and I don't remember much of that run either. None had a good second race, so yeah, he deserved that victory. And then there was the third race, the deciding race.
Yeah, I actually thought that I lost that after because my early game was pretty bad, but
Yeah.
the mid and late game were solid enough.
Yeah, none missed the sparse thread in the third and first race. None missed the sparse thread, so yeah, he had quite of an uphill battle after missing that.
That's unfortunate. If you miss one boss item, then just dominoes into the other boss fights.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
So heyyyhoooo.
Huh?
Do you think Calf is a Scooby-Doo?
What are you talking about?
Okay, we can.
It was some theory in the chat you were discussing about.
Yeah, that that Kaho is like the entire game is Scooby-Doo because we unveil the queen at the end, so it's all a Scooby-Doo episode.
Wow.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'll have to look into that theory, but definitely sounds interesting.
Definitely sounds interesting. You heard it here first. Top Runner confirms that this is actually Scooby-Doo in an alternate setting.
Yeah, I just PM'd Ardine and he told me that it's actually canon.
Oh, you see? We have confirmation right here. You wouldn't get this kind of lore discussion in any other tournament, so this is definitely the best tournament.
But we are unveiled the mystery, like right here, right now. So this makes us Scooby-Doo.
Oh
damn!
Oh no.
Okay.
That's crazy.
We should make but Scooby-Doo is a dog. We have to make an.
People have something in the background, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it like Navix.
Oh wow.
So yeah, keep going.
Yeah. Do you have Yeah, I think that's all for heyyyhoooo for now, I guess. Or do you have anything else, Quadcat?
What do you think about your next match? Wanna say something to Double Stop? You wanna intimidate him beforehand?
T9 was the real final actually. Double Stop is quite free, so.
You see? Okay.
GG's
so
in
yeah.
Advance.
Yeah. Then you heard it here. The winner of the tournament has spoken.
Please don't say that. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. I think that with that said, we can move on to Nan.
Yeah.
Hello, Nan.
Hey, Nam.
Hello.
GG.
GG on your races today. How do you feel about your performances?
It was quite lackluster, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I could have done a lot better, but it's okay.
Yeah, and the second race was definitely very solid. It's unfortunate that you missed the spar spread in the other two races.
I dropped heavy arrows in all of them, actually.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, there's just a lot of spaghetti going around here. I think I messed up.
Oh, true.
A lot.
On the third race, you both were quite synced though. It was quite amusing to watch at the start.
Did we both fuck up? Like,
yeah, both. Like you were extremely synced up until the Edea fight. Like Edea danced for Nan, but not for you, Heyyoohoo. But both of you missed a quick kill. Yeah, and you were very close together after that for a long time.
Yeah, I would check in occasionally to see how it's going, and I was like, "Oh, we're like right next to each other." It was really weird.
Yeah, that's always fun to see. It was especially entertaining when you do the backtracking or like the detour in order to see the bell in the Forlorn Monastery.
Yeah.
Because then you were so synced, and all you could hear was the roll jumping sound, and you were just like bouncing on the it was a great time to see. But yeah, now sadly you are out of the tournament, Nan. You have ended up on a third place in the tournament.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the tournament? How has the tournament as a whole been?
It was fun. I think I got a little lucky with heyyyhoooo going to losers early, so it was a little easier for me.
Oh yeah, that is true. If heyyyhoooo hadn't lost to Soft, then you would have had to face him in the third round of the tournament instead.
Then this would happen there instead of now.
Maybe, but that might have been so. But considering that heyyyhoooo was a lot rustier, not as consistent back then, so maybe it would have been reversed then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have beat me back then. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I think all of my races up until now have been really strong, so maybe.
Yeah, your race against Double Stop you were playing really good that race, but Double Stop was just playing like an absolute god, so it wasn't enough.
He was like
not much I could have done about that one.
Yeah, it would almost have been, it almost required you to get a
120. So easy.
Yeah, you would almost have required to have gotten a world record to beat him.
Yeah. World record is a bit lower now though, so it's not so easy for Double Stop to just casually beat it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad
maybe
about
he
that.
will do it anyway just to prove you wrong.
I wouldn't even be surprised.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Squad Cat? Or
I think
how was Cat RNG?
Hey, wait.
There was some
pretty good. It was actually pretty
Really?
good.
How
Also,
can you
yeah,
get good
I have
Cat
a
RNG
question.
on a 20?
It was like, I think on the third race, someone got like 5 white and 2 caramel.
Yeah, and someone got all cats sleeping one time as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was like pretty insane. One of the best moments of my life for sure.
Same.
Yeah. I think that's it for us.
Yeah. There is one race left in the tournament. And it will be at least as exciting as this race, hopefully.
Don't get your hopes up.
Oh yeah, too late. You said true. You said it was free, so it won't be exciting. It's like Double Stop won't even stand a chance. Like, yeah, because he's named double stop because you stop him twice because it's a best of 3 format.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's. I guess that is us. That is it for us today.
I better stop talking now, honestly.
Yeah, before the commentary starts deteriorating, before the commentary gets even worse, we should end it here.
Oh yeah, did you say that standard sentence like join the Discord and whatever?
Oh yeah. Join the community Discord. This is a pretty easy speed game to catch up. Like, it's hard to master, but easy to start. Our community is great. We have like a channel dedicated to cat pictures, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, one entire Discord channel that is only dedicated to cat pictures. So you don't even have to like the game. You can just come in and look at cat pictures and share your own cat pictures. I was going to say, like, we don't judge, but we would love that. That's like the best part.
Yeah.
I want a cat, but it's close enough to get to see all these lovely cat pictures instead.
That's a good substitute, I guess.
But yeah, so that will be it for us today. Thank you very much. Join our community, share cat pictures, watch the grand finals, and have a great day.
Oh yeah. Pum padum pum. Pum
Bum, bum.
pum dum, dum,
Is it
dum.
offline?
I think it is. I was about to turn it off, but we usually get kicked out. Like,
Yeah, I think the
this is-
stream has stopped. But we're
I
still in...
think we might have broken the.
No, I said that it was finished, so the stream seems to be... Yeah, the stream seems different.
You were all still alive. Oh no.
Okay, it's fine. Um,
This is crazy.
Let's say something.
Something funny.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So the stream
So-
didn't go offline, so... Okay, we should just leave. Thank
Just
you
disconnect, to be
again.
honest.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye.
leave, get out, bye.